G'day guys and welcome to episode 7. I'm back, that's right, episode 7. It was meant to happen 3 weeks ago. I'm sorry. A lot of debacles have gone down in my life. The missus has been crook, it's been no good, so Dr. Bizer to the rescue. She's all good now, so that's fantastic news. I had a sore back. Once again, no good. My fridge died, so I had a debacle there, so had a day of sorting a fridge out, and it happened to be a recording day, so stuffed me around a bit, that one. I've had traders in the house as well, fixing up the roof leaks that we've had inside from the big storm the other day. A couple of litres of rain come through into a bucket, so that was good fun. And of course, you know, the shitty weather, just been out and about doing a few things. So sorry for the absence for the last 3 weeks, guys, and we're back into it. So episode 7, it's going to be a big one. Well, probably not too long. I don't want to bore you too much. Ease back into it. I think I can hear a boat coming up the waterway. So interesting to see what way that bad boy goes. All right, so a few life debacles, of course, and we've just touched on that. The fridge now, that was a big debacle, that one. Yeah, it just died. Woke up in the morning and yeah, the milk was curdled and everything was warm. So yeah, thankfully got a new fridge that day, and yeah, crisis averted. Threw a few $100 of groceries out though, so that was no good. The boat's gone the other way. Still going to come past us in the background. Listeners, of course, I'm on the canals, and yeah, the boat didn't go past me. So there you go. You might hear some birds though. Beautiful day behind me. A few clouds coming through, off and on with the sunshine. Water is flat as a tack, so a very nice day out the back behind me today for doing the blog or potty or whatever we want to call this bad boy. Look, the shit list is back as well today. The Cricket World Cup, we're going to be talking a lot about that one. The AFL, of course, plenty of stories in the AFL. Always AFL stories. It writes itself, that one. It's fantastic. Manchester United, they're in Australia. We'll talk more about that later on. The Formula Ones, there's been a few races go down. There's another one coming up this weekend. We'll touch on that. Wimbledon, we're into the semi-finals now. The business end, who's going to get through? Tour de France, more sport. So much sport. We're going to talk some movies. Got a review of one of the favourites kids' movies of all time. New episode, new bringing of it. We'll review that one later on. Israel Folau, we'll touch on that as well. The drama of Izzy Folau. Bit of TV talk. Don't forget, the mailbag is back. So we'll get straight into it. Today. We'll go to the sport, the Cricket World Cup, because that's the big thing happening last night. India and New Zealand, of course. Well, not last night, over 2 nights, of course. It was a one-day game over 2 days with the rain in Manchester. New Zealand really struggled to put the runs on and weren't really looking like they were going to be going too well. And then, well, it's day 2 of the game, the second innings, and India, what a collapse. Wow. It's all over for them. They got close in the end, but they were, 5 for 27 or something like that at one stage, or 4 for 27, whatever it was. They weren't going too well. And all of a sudden, out of nowhere, bang, 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 Dhoni and Jadeja got pretty close. And what a sensational bit of fielding, run him out. And pretty much that was the game over from there. And New Zealand through, which I'm glad about, because I'd much rather play New Zealand in the final. Hopefully we get through tonight, of course, which is the big game, Australia versus England. A bit of selection talk. We know that Hanscom's coming in for the injured Khawaja. But there's also talk that potentially Matty Wade could be coming in for Glenn Maxwell. Now, Maxie's not really performed a great deal, as we know Glenn Maxwell should. I think he's been sort of a bit up the order too much from what he should have been. I think Alex Carey should have probably been coming in before him. That might have had something to do with it. I think Alex Carey's been battered down the order way too much in our side. I don't have a problem with Matty Wade coming into the side. I think we keep Stoinis in our team because Stoin is batting not that well, but his pace bowling brings us a little something extra. So my personal thought is I'd bring in Wadey, and I'd bring in Hanscom for the injured Khawaja, and hopefully we'll get a crack. Get some big runs on the board, because we know that Matty Wade can put the runs on and be punishing when he needs to. And you see him running out in the field, and at the end of the day, Matty Wade brought us nice Gary. So without Wade, no nice Gary. So let's get him back in the side. Group stages, of course. South Africa, they were very disappointing. Obviously beat us in that last game. Would have liked to have won that. Don't like the South Africans. They're just arrogant, too arrogant. Don't like them at all. The West Indies, well, they were just an absolute disappointment, weren't they? Chris Gale just did nothing. Pakistan, same thing. Close, but no cigar. Sri Lanka struggled. Bangladesh and Afghanistan, well done. My points for them. They shouldn't have got where they did, especially Bangladesh. But yeah, played some good cricket. Really did. Look, moving on. Actually, not moving on. We'll talk about it a bit more. A little bit more. Cricket talk can't hurt. England, I think, will lose tonight against Australia. I think Starkey's going to come out by well. Probably a few wickets go early. I'd like to see us bat first and field second and just come out and defend, because we can defend pretty well. And Death bowling very well as well. So I think Australia will win, probably not by a great deal, 15, 20 runs maybe, a couple of overs, and that'll be it. So that's my prediction for that. And then yeah, Australia, New Zealand is my thoughts for the final. And Australia, obviously, I think we'll beat New Zealand if we get through. But hey, if we lose to New Zealand, I'd much rather lose to New Zealand than lose to the Poms in the final or in the semi-final for that matter. So come on, New Zealand. I'm glad you got through. Now give us a good game in the final. Come on, Australia. Hopefully they win tonight. Formula One, Silverstone this weekend. Yeah, interesting, nice track, high speed. Always good fun. First ever F1 race was there in 1950. Good to see that it's been signed on for another 5 years. Silverstone on the F1 calendar, so that'll be good. It's good to see last race Max Verstappen having a win, and Charles Leclerc sucked in, missed out. Ferrari, the last minute. Well, good drive by Maxi Verstappen, who obviously struggled at the start. Couldn't take off well with the anti-stall, and he dropped down to 7th place and worked his way back up to win it. Mercedes just couldn't do well in that car at all. Cooling issues, not too good for them. They've got to sort that out pretty quickly. Ooh, sounds like a boat's coming back. Don't know what way this one's coming. Who knows, we'll find out. So yeah, it was a good result for the F1s. Really was. Look, tennis, Wimbledon. We'll move on to that now. Semi-finals time, the business end, where it all happens. We really want to start watching Wimbledon. You've got Nadal and Federer. I think Federer will win that game. Federer is just really, really good on the grass. And Novak and Bautista. I think Novak will win that as well. I think we'll be seeing a Novak Roger Federer final, and I think Roger will win that. Win Wimbledon again because he's just that good. And Serena Strikova. And look, I think Serena will win that game. She's just in good form again. Actually, she's carried on like a pork chop sometimes. She's played a good tennis player. And you've got that Svitolina and the Halep girl. I think Halep will win as well, that one. And Serena and Halep will play off in the final. And Serena go all the way and win another one. So she's just that good. She really is. Be interesting to see. Interesting to see. A bit of Tour de France. I've been watching a little bit of that amongst all the other sports been going on. There's a lot of sport at night time, so I've been able to catch up with everything. But yeah, interesting start. Can't predict who's gonna win it at the moment. State of Origin, it was last night as well, apparently. Who gives a fuck? Moving on. And yeah, like I said earlier, we've got Manchester United playing 2 games in Perth this weekend coming up against Glory on Saturday night, which I'm going to, and against Leeds on Wednesday, which I'm going to as well. So that'll be pretty good fun to go up to stadium there. Of course, the big news, AFL talk, Brady Grundy potentially going away from Collingwood is the talk. Who's playing this weekend for the Pies is also big talk. Who knows? Who cares? We'll find out later on when the team announcements get made. Fantastic. We'll get down to the game Friday night. Hopefully the Pies can have a win. I doubt it though. I really do doubt it. We're not playing very good football at the moment. In fact, we're in absolute putrid form. It all started from the game against Fremantle, the choke, and everyone gets into me for saying that, but fucking we choked. We're 30 odd points up. We fucking choked. We played dismally afterwards. And if you can't see that, learn football. Seriously, learn footy. Especially the chicks that have never played footy in their life. Fucking learn it. Go and play it before you make comment, for fuck's sake. Then, we played pretty shitly after that. We won one quarter in 2 of the wins that we had. Big smashing by North. We played Carlton skills like in the last period of time. And then look, last week as well, Hawthorn, close, should have won that game. Got to get over the line on these close games if we want to be playing finals up the top, playing grand final. And yeah, it's going to be really hard to find goals, absolutely. I think for us, the Eagles will beat us on Friday night, unfortunately, which I'm going to, of course. As I said, Eagles 17 points is my tip. Friday night, and look, getting to the other tips while we're at it. Swans, Blues, Swans. Hawks, Dockers, Hawks. Bombers, Roos, Roos. Suns, Crows, Crows. Cats, Saints, Cats. Tigers, Giants, Giants. Dogs, Days, Dogs. Power, Lions, Lions. I think the Lions will go well down in Port Adelaide, or in Adelaide, or wherever the fuck they play it these days down in crow-eating land. TV talk, not much to say, except all the sport that we just covered. That's it, that's all I've been watching, so fuck knows what else has been going on television. Heard that Master Puff Chef's thing's coming back. And yeah, cool, great, who gives a fuck. Movies, Toy Story 4. Now this is the big review I was going to talk about before, the big review. Toy Story is probably my favourite, kids animation series ever, especially number 1. I've got multiple Toy Story Buzz and Woody figurines around the place. I love Buzz, he's just such a great bloke. Just Buzz, yeah, be like Buzz. Woody never gives up on people, kind of annoyed me along the way. But you know, was Woody. But not a fan of this one. Woody was not Woody, he gave up. Woody doesn't give up. And that really, really upset me. It's just not right. It just wasn't right. They separated, Woody left the kid behind for the girl. At the end of the day, the story always goes, the girl always wins. And that is exactly what Disney, Pixar, whoever the fuck it is that created this 4th one now, have come up and said, basically, the girl always wins. Because he left to become a homeless fuckwit to go and hang out with some bird who could have come back to the house where she belonged in the first place. So he left his whole mates and everyone behind, and that's life, isn't it? That's life. That's what happens. The girl always wins. So yeah, it was very disappointing on that one. Plus, it was way too over animated. I did not like it. It was just, when they showed the remake of the first series, the first scenes in it, and that just wasn't right. And I don't get why they had to do they go back the 10 years and bring it back. They've never done that in other ones. You don't need to rehash. We know where they left off. It just wasn't right. And I think that's Disney putting their stamp on the movie series now. Disappointed. I really wanted to like it because I love Toy Story. I love all 3 of the first ones. Number 4, yeah, well, I'll have to love it, won't I? But yeah, just don't love it straight up. So, a bit sad. Sad, that one. Look, the big story now. We'll get on to this. Israel Folau. Now, the big one here. Free speech, religious speech is a constitutional right. No matter how we want to slice it, no matter how much the do-gooders, the media people of the world, the political correct lefties, which are pretty much all the same. You're all in the same category there. You are all in one, want to put it. They try and slant it another way and saying it's against homophobia and all the bits and pieces. But look, Israel, I don't believe in what he's saying. I think it's laughable, to be perfectly honest. Ha 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 ha. But what I do believe is that he has a right to be able to say his religious beliefs And we have a freedom of speech and a freedom of religious speech written into our Constitution that enables us to do so. In fact, it's also in the Fair Work Act that states a person shall not be dismissed for religious beliefs, speech, sexuality, and multiple other things like that. So with this, he had a big case to answer. He really did. Now, he went to the Fair Work Tribunal. They couldn't come to an agreement, the two parties. Now, of course, which is standard. Haven't really heard much. They could have been something out, but I personally haven't heard much from what Fair Work have said. I believe they've kept a little bit quiet on this one, simply because it's going to the courts. Now, the court question is, did he break that there? But then his contract, yes or no? It's pretty much a case cut and closed for contractual law. But then the next bigger part about it, which is what most people aren't understanding, yeah, clear cut, he did go against his contract. However, is under the Constitution and in our freedom of just us, religion, everything that goes with it, sexuality, race, all of that goes with it in freedom, is that freedom being infringed upon by employers stipulating what can and can't be said within those employment contracts? That's the question for the courts. In my opinion, yes, I believe that is the case. I believe that, and obviously the Fair Work Act actually states that it is the case. So if what they've done is that they're not allowed to say X, Y, Z, he's gone and said his beliefs, which is fair play, to get on to him. I think they're laughable mistakes, ha ha ha. But the one thing that most people have forgotten, it wasn't just one thing. It was fornicators, people with tattoos, adulterers, people who drink. All of us are going to hell. Every single person who listens to my blog, going to hell because of what his post said, including gay people. So he's going to hell himself. He's got tattoos and all the bits and pieces like that. He's fornicated and done all that too. So at the end of the day, it's his belief, and he's entitled to have his belief, just like I'm entitled to have my belief, and you guys are entitled to have your beliefs. And it's no one else's right to turn around and say, no, you're not allowed to do that. You know, I'm not about to go and turn around and say, no, you can't believe what you believe. If you want to believe it, great. I don't believe it, I laugh at, haha, whatever. I think it's a funny thing that he said. It's laughable, move on, stupid thing, don't give it the time of day. But what it's done now is it's created this massive scenario, this massive case, which is off to High Courts. Constitutional law is being challenged. We're now talking at bringing additional laws for religious freedom and religious protections in on top, which like we did for the sex laws and stuff like that, which I don't understand why we had to bring those laws in. I don't understand why we have to bring this religion protection law in, considering that this is all in our Constitution. Do we not value the Australian Constitution anymore? That is the highest law of the land. So there's a few things to ponder upon there, but I generally think that he has a case. Don't believe in what he says. But when you sit down and look at it in law, and look at it in the way of freedom of speech and freedom of just being a human, you can do and say what you like when you like, regardless of who you are, when you are. On the opposite hand, if someone said it the other way around, go to religious people, they're no good, go and get rid of them, or they're going to go to hell, or whatever story you want to make up, that would be, what, okay? It wouldn't. So it's a fine one. It's going to go down as a big landmark case in Australia. Don't forget this one. It will go down. It'll probably go down as big as Mabo case or something like that. Look, P.S. I hate religion. I think it's all a lot of shit. So, but I do believe people have the right to say what they want. He's not vilifying anyone. He's not saying I want to kill people or whatever. I hate them or whatever it is. He's just saying his belief is when you cark it, if you are one of those people that were listed, you're going to go to hell. That's cool. Good on you, mate. All right, moving on from that one, we're going to go on to a few other things to talk about here. Life advice. Okay, so tax time's around, and my advice: get onto it as soon as you possibly can. There's a lot of tax savings to be had now. I'm no genius on this, but get it down and get it done. Because of these new tax cuts that have been done, a lot of you guys are going to be getting a lot more cash in your skyrockets this time round. Go see your accountant this time round as a result, because if you can claim as much as you can, claim it. That's my advice. You go and see your accountant this time around. Claim what you can and reduce your tax. Reduce it big time, because anyone doesn't reduce their tax needs their heads red. And that was a very famous quote from a very famous man, Kerry Packer. Of course I reduced my tax, he said. So it's much easier to deal with your tax now with Australia's new payroll system. So you don't have to worry about chasing up your group certificates and getting it all done. So you just rock on down, see your bloke. Bring whatever shit you need to claim in, stuff like that. Get down straight away, get it done. And it's no excuse. So just make it happen, guys. Get the cash money into your skyrocket and then start spending it, inject some cash into our societies. And let's get this economy rolling again. Let's make it happen. Look, some world events coming up as well. Donald Trump coming down under, I believe. Potentially going to have a hit of golf with Scotty Morrison. Now, I did send the tweet out to old Donald a while back. If he was down under, mate, come and have a game of golf with Bizer. I'll teach you a thing or two about the local par 3 down here in Busso. It's a ripping course, mate. I think you'd like it. You have a great time. It's the best. It's the best course, best par 3 course you'll ever go to in your life. It's huge. Boris getting closer to becoming UK Prime Minister. I tipped it years and years ago, 10 years ago when I was living in London. He was fantastic, safe streets, great mayor, good guy, really good guy. Getting closer and closer. I think he'll run England quite well and bring England back to where it needs to be. Hong Kong's still going nuts. Crazy. I can't believe this shit's still happening. China just flexing their muscles, trying to get involved in Hong Kong once again more. Saw at the UN the other day, Chinese Hong Kong lady making a statement about the extradition bill, and all of a sudden, China just decided to just interrupt mid-speech. And that was fine. The UN allowed that to happen as well. So it's just a disgrace. China are just meddling where they don't need to meddle. Iran causing tension yet again. Always causing tension, those bastards. Going over their uranium stuff, doing whatever they're doing. It's no good. No good with oils and stuff like that. And of course, Donald Trump's blamed for all of the above stuff. So it's all Donald's fault, even though he's probably got fuck all to do with any of it. That's all right. That's just the way we like to go. That's right. We're onto something important. It's time now, guys. The shit list. Bizer shit list is here. Number one on the shit list. I wish I had a picture of this for you. Coles. You're number one on my shit list this week. Croissants. Now, you go to Coles, do this experiment. Go to Coles, butter croissants in the bakery section. 3 for $2.50. Great. Right below the 3-pack is a 4-pack. Butter croissants, $2.50. What the fuck, Coles? You stupid idiots. Why would anyone want to get 3 when you can get 4 for the same price? Jesus Christ. Even if you're not going to eat it, you're still going to get an extra one. Come on. Next thing on my shit list, disabled parking standard across, you probably assume everywhere in the country. Definitely here in WA. We used to have these big fuck off disabled bays, which were fantastic. So people get in and out, lots of room, park your car in the middle, open each doors either side, heaps of room, wheelchairs, whatever. Great. Now, they've got slightly smaller bays for them, and then they've yellowed off this massive big fuck off car park size bay as well with yellow stripes. So no one's allowed to park there and do anything with it. Walkway or some shit, who fuck knows, but it's massive. So there's actually less parking. Like, for instance, I looked out the front of the old Silver Chain in Busselton this morning. They used to have 2 car parks out the front. Now, I don't know about you guys, but Silver Chain look after, that's it, old people and people probably with disabilities being old as well. And so they had 2 bays so they could deal with. For 15 years I know about the front with their old people and disabilities. Managed fine. all of a sudden now I think they had a little bit of renovation work, so something like that might have gone down. And because the new standard is they've got to change their car parking, so now they put a disabled bay in there, which would have been fine anyway because they were dealing with disabled people, with 2 cars, and now they can only park 1 car in the exact same amount of room where they were parking their 2 cars right at the front door. So you park 1 car there now with the big yellow stupid bay where no one can park there anymore. You could fit 2 cars there easily with disabled parking access. Bureaucracy, just absolutely stupid. Stupid. All right, we're on to the PC Brigade, the big one, the big story this week. Ruining a fellow podcast from a couple of superstars, Scotty and Swanee. Now, we'll talk about this one a lot because I know a lot of you that follow Bice's blog or have been frequent Scotty and Swanee listeners. I know I am myself, and you know, they didn't do fuck all wrong, those boys, at all. They were just talking about things that were written on this website called urbandictionary.com, and their listeners would send in a few funny things and get them to read them out. And so they were reading out these things and called whatever they'll call a dirty Scot or a dirty Dane. I can do a dirty Byron if you want. And you type it into that. So you put dirty and then your name and read out the definition. Now, some of them are disgusting sexual things and they're just all fucked up weird shit. Now, they've read them out and had a laugh about how fucked up and weird it is, not about doing it. Now, they've been crucified for that. Apparently, they're promoting domestic violence. Now, the story should be, if you didn't listen to it, because they shouldn't have lost their podcast over, shouldn't have had to resign. Scotty Cummings shouldn't have lost his radio spot. We'll be glad to see Swanee back with a new potty when he returns from his holiday. But the story should be about the people who put this content on the line for anyone to see in the first place, not a couple of blokes who were just highlighting it and laughing about how fucked up it is. Simple as that. So, once again, media's cooked. The media's always cooked. Totally cooked. Now, we've done the sports, we've done the tipping, we've done the movies, we've done Izzy, we've done the world events, we've done that. A bit of local stuff happening, but we're going to get onto that in a minute. We've got the mailbag. The mailbag is back. Bit of Twitter talk this week as well. A few more life debacles, what I'm going to be up to, and other stuff like that. But look, the mailbag, a couple of cracking letters this week. Dear Bizo, how's dry July going for you? Are you getting through it okay, Alex? Well, Al, thanks mate, thanks for the letter. Dry July was going great. It lasted 2 days. Day 3, I had a beer. So, and yeah, had a few beers since then. So, probably just, as one of the boys at pub says, drink less July. So, yeah, that's the answer to that. It's going fantastically. Dry July. It's not that dry at all. Another letter here sent in. G'day, boys. I love the pod. Are you a fan of summer or winter more, and why? Scott. Well, Scotty, I love summer because I can walk around in not much clothes, t-shirts and stuff. It's fantastic. Go to the beach, have a swim, drink a lot of beer, and it's warm. I don't like being cold. Cricket's on, but there's no footy. So it's a bit of a catch-22. I do like a good storm and chill inside every now and then though, so, but I do prefer summer, absolutely. But yeah, winter has its time and place for sure. The last letter here is Go Bizer. Some have missed out, of course, letters because there's just too many fit in. G'day Bizer. Here we're looking at releasing Bizer's blog merch. Yes, I am. I'm potentially looking at getting stubby holders out with the Bizer's blog logo on them. $15 a pop. Just looking at getting them sourced and made. So yeah, stay tuned, guys. Will be some stubby holders coming up. Bizer's blog. If you want to get your greasy mitts on them, I'll even sign them for you. So you might be able to put that away, and one day it could be worth maybe $1.50 or something when that's done. So yeah, thank you, Sam, for that letter. A bit of Twitter talk. There's a lot of fucking idiots been around on Twitter at the moment. It's just getting worse and worse and worse. I don't know what's going on with Twitter. The trends, they've just been outrageous. There's just shit that I don't even follow or do anything, and just suggesting fucked up weird shit on Twitter. I guess that's what Twitter is now. It's even getting more fucked up than Facebook, but it doesn't have all the fucked up videos and shit, so that's one saving grace. There's a lot of Twitter wars happening. They're pretty gold. The Buzzard is obviously still fighting with his parrot lover, which is pretty great on there, so I quite enjoy watching that fight. And yeah, the group that I'm in on Twitter, yeah, it's pretty funny. So yeah, there's been some outrageous shit happening down there. So good to see what happens with the fights on that one. Look, debacles that we have in WA, a life debacle for me. This was a big one. We spoke about the fridge, but I thought about getting a pet turtle after seeing an article or a news story that was about 5,000 pet turtles were smuggled across to India. These little green ones, little cool little mini turtles, red-eared sliders or something. So I thought, yeah, sick, no worries. Have a look at turtles, Googled them online. Great, fucking believe it, wouldn't you? You wouldn't, actually, you probably will. WA can't get a fucking turtle. You gotta be kidding me, what a joke. WA, typical bullshit. The rest of the country can get a turtle, but can't get a pet turtle in WA for some bizarre bullshit fucked up reason. I just want to have a turtle inside with a little fucking, you know, in its glass cage or whatever. When it gets a bit bigger, it can crawl around the house. How cool would that be, having a turtle in the house? That'd be amazing. But nah, not allowed to have a turtle in WA, so it's pretty shit. So yeah, that was my big disappointment of the week. So that's created a debacle for me, that one. So now I have to rethink about what pet I want. So listeners, send me some suggestions in of some pretty cool pets. I don't want to spend a great deal of coin on buying an exotic pet because my chances of keeping it alive are pretty slim. But yeah, please just give me some suggestions on what cool pets I can have. No snakes. Snakes can fuck off, and spiders too. They're off the list. No good. I'm not into that kind of shit. All right, local stuff before we disappear today. Geograph Bay, the big bay out here in Busso, is covered. The whole beachfront is covered in miles and miles and miles of absolutely putrid seaweed at the moment from the big storms we've had. It stinks. Wowee. Gee whiz. Rotten eggs. Eat your heart out. Poo, cabbage, the whole lot. All in one smell. Let it fester. Then go give it a sniff. It's great. Big sports weekend in WA, of course. Collingwood Friday night at the Optus Stadium. Man United as well. Saturday night versus Perth Glory. That'll be good fun. I'll be going on that. RAT Intellibus in Busso is gone. Thank fuck for that. It's not slow anymore. Don't have to drive slow behind it and get in my way. What else have we got before we go? That's it. It's been a big one. Thanks guys for listening again. Hopefully be back next week. And we'll start getting back into a regular weekly thing. Don't forget social channels. Get involved, guys, on the YouTube. Of course, if you want to watch a video of this, at Bizer's Blog, Twitter, Bizer's Blog, Instagram at Bizer's Blog, of course, Spotify, Apple Podcast Store. The links will be up there later on for this. Get involved. Thanks very much, and I will see you all next time. Peace.